What could this mean? What does this really mean with Saudi Arabia buying out EA Sports for $55 billion? $55 billion, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this right here could mean something good for wrestling games if wrestling games was to be brought to EA Sports by Saudi Arabia buying out EA Sports, because we see what they're doing with the wrestling company of WWE as it is, with the pay-per-views, with WrestleMania being brought to Saudi Arabia, I think in 2027. This right here can be a good thing, but it also could be a bad thing if it's brought to EA Sports. And the reason why I say that is because it could be a good thing, because we can finally start getting gaming developers that actually have the passion behind making wrestling video games and giving the fans what we've been wanting for years. But I also feel, and I want to say this, y'all, I hate to say it, but WWE 2K26 may be going all the way out for this one. March of next year in 2026, expect to see something that we've been asking for a long time of 2K for them to be doing, whether it's Road to WrestleMania or Create a Story or hopefully both. And the reason why I say that, y'all, is because 2K is under a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure meaning on one end, you got all these games dropping in 2026. Yes, y'all. We got a lot of blockbuster games dropping in 2026, with 007 being the first, and a couple of sleepers in January that I can't, name at the time at the top of my head. But with 007 releasing in March of 2026, that's going to put a lot of fire among the other gaming developer companies, whether it's shooting games or anything of that sort. They're going to be forced to have to really dig in their bag and really bring it, because we have competition, a lot of competition in that year of 2026. So not only that, WWE 2K games also have to worry about or think about is that your game could be potentially, leaving you for EA Sports. So if or when that does happen, you want to make sure these last 2 years or however many years you got that 2K have with WWE 2K Gamings, that you go all the way out. And it starts with next year. It starts with 2026. So expect to either probably see Road to WrestleMania or Create a Story. They're probably going to give us one or the other, and then bring the other one in for 2027. That's what I'm thinking. Instead of just giving us both all in 1 year, which would be great, I feel like they're going to give us one or the other. Either it's Road to WrestleMania or it's going to be Create a Story for 2026 at W2K, because you got competition and potentially the wrestling games leaving y'all and going to EA Sports. Now, I titled this video by saying that I feel honestly that when or if EA Sports get a hold of the wrestling game or the wrestling game franchise, I feel like they should compete with, I won't really say compete, but they should really outshine or try to outdo what 2K didn't do, or everything that 2K tried to do. So when or if EA Sports potentially can get wrestling games, I feel like they should try to outdo and try to make 2K look, try to make them look as bad as possible. Because everyone's counting EA Sports out, saying they can't make good games no more. They don't have the money or the funding. Now they do. With the $55 billion that Saudi Arabia acquired to get in EA Sports, now they got a little bit more money. Well, it's Saudi Arabia's, but at the same time, it's like coins. It's like all in one bundle with EA Sports and Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia gonna make sure that EA Sports get, I feel like, the best of whatever that's to come for EA Sports. I've been hearing, pro wrestling shows saying that, this could be a bad thing. But I disagree. But then again, I agree. I agree to disagree because it can be, but it can be something that's totally mind-shocking and mind-boggling. I don't want to say mind-boggling, but it could be something of a shocker to, the people that thinking that EA Sports will not succeed like with the wrestling game. And comparing it when I was hearing to Def Jam, and Def Jam is not a wrestling game. Of course, we all should know that. It's just a fighting game, arcade-style fighting game. But it puts you in the mind of wrestling because of the moves and things of that sort. Even though they're not wrestlers, it's kind of put you in that range because it's showing you what EA Sports can do if wrestling games were brought to them. We can have free roam. We saw the different areas and places you could fight on Def Jam. So it can kind of give you an idea in that bubble of the range of what we could have if it was to be brought, if wrestling games was to be brought to EA Sports. We can finally get a SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain type of element, type of vibe. But what I will say, by 2K Gaming, wrestling, 2K, WWE 2K Wrestling Gaming, knowing that they baby could be going to EA Sports. So they got to buckle down. And they got to go hard as ever to try to give the fans what they want now. Because after these 2 or 3 years, or whenever that EA Sports get the wrestling gaming franchise, if that was to happen, 2K is no more. So they have no choice, ladies and gentlemen, to give us what we want now. With Saudi Arabia being in ties with the WWE and them acquiring and getting $55 billion, EA Sports, like wrestling games when it comes to EA Sports. I don't know what specific date as of yet, but it's gone. It's coming there. So be prepared, for something I feel big to come out of WWE 2K26, and for us to finally be getting, what we've been wanting and then some. And then in 2027 with WWE 2K27, when that come out after 2K26, expect a little bit more. We're going to finally begin what we want, because it seems like people don't want to start, doing something until they feel the pressure, man. Until they feel the pressure, like it is the rights to the game and the licensing, whether it's that, or you see what EA Sports did with Madden. They finally starting to try to, do their job, because they know that they're gonna be bought out, on which they did by Saudi Arabia. So it's like when people feet get held to the fire, boy, they start trying to show something then, but it's too late. Even though we still do see it, but it's too late, because you can't show too much more, but because it's no longer yours until that time being. But I honestly feel like I'm on the other side with it. I honestly feel like we're going to see something. We're going to have a better wrestling game franchise from EA Sports if this was to happen than we ever did with 2K. They just point blank period. Because I feel like it's too much money involved with Saudi Arabia. $55 billion to spend that much money to acquire EA Sports. Oh, you better believe something to be good. All that damn money is not finna be going to waste from Saudi Arabia to acquiring EA Sports for it not to go good. That makes no damn sense. Saudi Arabia gonna make sure that these WWE games gonna be fire. $55 billion? Ain't nobody in their right mind wasting that amount of money if they feel like they can bring the best out of the best out of it, whatever that they investing in. So that's how I know when WWE Games licensing when they have the licensing, the EA Sports have the license of the WWE games to get their wrestling games and start making wrestling games on the EA Sports. That's how I know it's going to be fire. We're going to see some of the best wrestling games we ain't seen in a long time since SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. There's too much money on the line that was acquired to invest in the EA Sports for whether it's the wrestling games, sports, for it not to be the best of what it could be. But at the same time, for these next couple of years, that 2K have under these with the wrestling gaming licensing for making WWE 2K games, we gonna see some great stuff too, because they know that their time is almost up. So we're gonna be finally seeing, like I said, we're gonna finally start seeing what we all been asking for. Hopefully one of the things will be, the lobby areas. Them scrapping all the backstage areas and giving us brand new backstage areas. Brand new backstage areas, but a little refurnished. Can I say, like a little polished up, like from what we seen from SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. Like the lobby areas, NPCs walking around the lobby, ordering food from the concession stand in the lobbies. We got the little doorway we can go through that'll take us to the floor tunnels to fight in the crowd on the floor, where we can fight all the way up there and go over the barricade and go back to the ring. Or we can go upstairs or take the elevator upstairs. Brand new backstage areas. And the upstairs portion to have us it'll be like 8 slots, probably like 8 to probably 10 doorway slots that'll lead us to the upstairs portion of under the tunnel, where we can fight finally down the stairs of those tunnels. And for the first time ever, fighting up and down the stairs from under the tunnels, from each slot that we want to go to around the ring, because it's going to be like a little loop, circular thing, if y'all know what I'm saying. It's going to be like a loop with different tunnel slots, and you can go through, and it'll take you down the steps from the left side of the arena or the right side of the arena. It ain't going to be no more restriction the way you can just go on the left side and fight on the left side. I never did understand that. 2K could be giving us that. And a story mode. Bringing story mode back, not universe mode, but bringing season mode, story mode back, and Road to WrestleMania and create a story. We may not get all that in 2K26, but we're going to get one of the two. Or if not two, with the backstage areas counting that, new backstage areas and free roam, along with Road to WrestleMania, or create a story, either one of those. So, 2K26 ain't got no choice but to be way better than any other WWE game we ever played and answering and giving us what we wanted. Because it's too much on the line. They licenses on the line, and the competition is on the line. And that's just what I think about that, man. Y'all can let me know what y'all think. But I think once EA Sports get a hold of this, wrestling game's gonna be back for real, for real. But like the video, subscribe to the channel, Sensei's Reality. I'll let y'all on the next rebound tip. Y'all know what it is, man. One love. Peace.